So hello internet, what's up? Welcome to JS Cafe, and in today's video we are going to write the polyfill of set timeout. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So let us quickly jump to and see what MDN has to say about set timeout. So firstly, a set timeout is not a part of JavaScript. It is a web API provided by browsers, or if you are having an terminal or a node environment, it is provided by Node.js. Right. So that's one thing. And this is the syntax of set timeout. I hope everyone knows about what a set timeout is. Like, it is used to delay a function execution, and you provide the function that needs to be delayed and the delayed amount. This is basically a milliseconds. And these are all the other parameters that you can pass to a function. So we have seen quickly what the syntax is. What is a set timeout? It is not provided by JS. And next, there are few cases of set timeout, like this problem. Like, this is a very interesting thing, but we'll not cover this problem in this particular video. But let me quickly tell you what this is. So this states that, let's suppose you have a myArray of 0, 1, 2, and you have a method which calls the prints the value based upon the index that you are passing over here. Okay, so when you do myArray.myMethod, it prints 0, 1, 2. Okay, and if you do myArray.method1, it prints 1 from index 1. Okay, so this is what it is. And now if you try to put this particular function, if you put this thing inside a set timeout like this, so it will not print a 0, 1, 2 like this, but instead it would print a window object, right? And this is because it is clearly stating that code executed by set timeout is called from an execution context separate from the function from which set timeout was called. The usual rule of setting this keyword for a called function apply, and if you have not set this in a call with bind method, it would default to window or global object. This will not be the same as this value or function that is called set timeout. Okay, I hope you understand it. And what the solution is, that they have provided us to write it in a wrapped function. So in the set timeout, you create a function and then you call your function so that the this keyword is set appropriately. But again, we will not be taking this case into the consideration for this polyfill, because that would be a little complex for you, for the audience as well. Let's try to keep this polyfill simple and to the point, so that if it comes in your interview as a question, then you are able to solve a basic one without messing up the whole interview. Okay, so keeping that in mind, we will not cover this one for now, but again, I have it in my bucket list. We will cover it separately in another video. Cool. And yeah, so this is it. Let's start writing some code. Okay, so what we are going to do is, first of all, we are going to create a function that would actually create two functions for us. First is the set timeout polyfill itself, and also clear timeout goes hand in hand with set timeout. Okay, so we will create two functions. So let me create quickly one thing, that is to create a function. Create set timeout like this. Okay, we have created a set timeout. This is a function to create a set timeout. And also, if you remember, when we call set timeout, it returns a timer ID, right, which you pass to clear timeout. Then it clears that timer, or clears that set timeout, right? So what we are going to do is, first of all, we are going to create a variable var, and we are going to call it timer ID, and let's initialize it with 0 for now. And also we are going to create a map, timer map, or set timeout map. Let's call it timer map. This is okay, simple. So these are all the maps. Here we will be storing all of the set timeouts over here, and we will check that if so the agenda is, when someone calls a clear timeout with a clear timeout ID, what we are going to do is we are going to remove that timer from the map, so that when the set timeout is about to execute, so before execution it checks, oh okay, am I in the map or not? If I am not in the map, this means that somehow my ID was cleared by set clear timeout, so I will not execute. But if my ID is present and the time has come to execute this, then I will go ahead and execute that function. So this is one thing over here. Now let us quickly write the polyfill, a basic polyfill of set timeout. So what we are going to call this function, and I'm going to call it set timeout poly. Okay, so set timeout poly means set timeout polyfill function, and we are going to pass the callback. This is the function that we are going to execute, and we are also going to take some delay. Fine. Each set timeout has its own timer ID, right? What we are going to do is we are going to do that ID equals to timer ID plus plus. So what this will do is this will create a ID. When it is called first time, what it is going to do is it is going to put the value of 1. Timer ID will also increase to 1. Now again you call set timeout some for another function. Then again it will do timer ID plus plus. The value will be set to 2. Then we will get ID as 2, right? So this is how it will work. Okay, this is a clever thing, and we got the IDs, and what we are going to do is we are going to do timer ID of timer map, and we are going to put the ID, and we are going to call this value as true for now. Okay, this means that if in the timer map you have a timer ID with the value is true, or if that value exists in timer map, this means that we have to execute that particular set timeout. Now what we are going to do is we are going to create a start variable where start, and this would be date.now. This would give us the timestamp, and what we are going to do is we are going to check after start plus delay. Okay, start plus delay is the time when we have to execute our callback function. I hope you understand it. So when this function was invoked, when we called set timeout, we stored the current timestamp into the start variable. Now we have to wait for the delay. So delays are in milliseconds as well, and this timestamp is also. So what we are going to do is after every millisecond, we are going to check, okay, so have we crossed the delay or have we achieved the delay or not? If we have not achieved the delay, which delay how we will check? We will do start plus delay. So this is the final time that we are targeting. Now, if we have not achieved that time, we will do nothing. Okay, we will just keep checking if the time has arrived or not, or if the value is there in the map. Okay. Now this is the part where start is equal to date.now, and what we are going to do is we are going to create a function trigger callback. Okay. The motive of this function is to check if we have reached the time, then execute the callback. If we have not reached the time, then do nothing. Okay, keep checking. So we will call this trigger callback over here like this. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some checks. First of all, I will check if not timer map ID. Okay. So if this value is not present, okay, then please return. Do not do anything over here. If somehow the value is present, which means that we have to execute the timer map at some place. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to do if date.now, if date.now if the current timestamp has crossed our start plus delay. Okay, if we have crossed that particular target timestamp, then what you are going to do is we are going to call our callback like this. Okay, else what you do is you recursively call trigger callback. Okay, so this will call trigger callback again and again and again until we have reached a point where this condition is true. Then we execute our callback. Okay, this is very simple logic. Now what we know that what thing are we missing? First of all, we know that the setTimeout returns a timer ID. So we are going to return a timer ID like this. Okay, this is for this particular function setTimeout. Now after setTimeout, we will also return setTimeout polyfill function so that it can be consumed when we write some code. Okay, and we also have to write a function to clear timeout poly. Okay, this is a clear timeout polyfill, and what we are going to do is we are going to do ID. Okay, this will receive a ID, and we are going to do delete timer map ID. So what it will do is it will delete the ID from the map, and then the ID is deleted. And let's suppose our trigger callback is running for some seconds. It checks, oh, the ID is gone from the map. Then I don't have to execute this function. Okay. So this is the role of clear timeout polyfill. Let us export this as well. Okay. So we have somehow created a very basic set timeout thing. So to utilize it, what we are going to do is we are going to write a var. We are going to export these values. Spread out these values from create setTimeout method like this. And what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to write console.log start. Okay. And then I'm going to do where my ID equals to create setTimeout polyfill. Okay. Function. And let's suppose I want to execute it our 1 second. And I'm going to write console.log welcome to JS Cafe. It is capital. Okay. Fine. And yeah, this is it. And we will also write console.log as end. Okay. To execute it, we are going to run it on the browser. So let us create a HTML file quickly. And let's write the script src./setTimeout.js, and we go live quickly. Okay. Let us do console. C. Okay. So here is this thing. So when we have recursive calls of trigger call, right, you can see that it is saying that maximum call stack size exceeded. So it is having extensive callbacks. Okay, extensive callbacks, so that recursions that the stack sizes exceeded. So this is not working for us. What we are going to do is, first of all, we are going to reduce the time to 1 millisecond and check if it is working. Okay, so it is giving start, it is giving welcome to JS Cafe, it is giving end. This is correct, right? No, this is not correct. So ideally what should have happened is, that this setTimeout thing is all asynchronous. It goes to callback queue and other stuffs, and then it is pushed to callback after the call stack gets empty, right? You all know these stuffs, right? It's pretty simple. If you are not aware of it, if you want me to make a video on this, then please tell that to me in the comments. I'll check it out, and if the response is good, I'll make a dedicated video on that as well. But let's come back to the point again, and we can see that the start, welcome to JS Cafe, and end, this is a sequence that is coming, but the expected sequence was, it should be start, end, it should be then welcome to JS Cafe. Okay, this is wrong, which means that this particular code, this particular function which we have written is a blocking thing. Okay, it blocks your execution, but this is not the case with setTimeout. So how should we fix it? How should we fix this thing? But before that, first of all, let us check that if our clear timeout polyfill is working. If it is working, then we will not see welcome to JS Cafe. All that. Let us try to increase the size, like 5 milliseconds or so. Okay, again the call stack size is breaching. what we will do is, first of all, we will not write clear timeout polyfill for now. And what we are going to do is we need some rescue. So what we will check now is a thing called as requestIdleCallback. requestIdleCallback. Yeah. So let's quickly understand what this is and how this can help us. So window.requestIdCallback method execute function to be called during the browser's idle periods. Okay. So this will make sure that whatever callback we are passing inside requestIdleCallback, it will be only processed when the browser is idle. Okay. This enables developers to perform background and low priority tasks, work on the main event loop without impacting latency critical events such as animation input responses. This is the thing that we need. So what we want is, we want to somehow execute a code that will not impact latency critical events such as animations, input response. It should not be blocking event. Okay, it should execute the code and it should also run when a browser is idle. So this sounds everything that we want. Okay, request.idleCallback. Now let us utilize this over here. What we are going to do is, we are going to write first. Let me copy this, and what we are going to do is requestIdleCallback, and we are going to do requestIdleCallback, and we will remove this execution because we have to pass the reference. Let us save it and go to browser. Boom. Right. This is the thing we were missing. It was not blocking our main execution, right? It was not blocking our start. It was not blocking our end. It waited until the browser got freed of running these things. And then what it does, it started the execution of our setTimeout trigger callback, right? So the moment we create setTimeout, then we write it, we pushed the trigger callback into the request callback ID. It made sure that it will execute only and only after the browser is idle. And now we will not see any call stack size reached or anything. We can check it by changing to 1000. And you can see that after 1 second, we saw welcome to JS Cafe. Let us change it to 3 seconds and we will see if it is coming. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. So this is for working exactly the way it has to be. And one thing more, in the, I guess, let's go back to syntax. You can see that in the param1, param2, param-n, it is passing all of the params that needs to be executed. So it says additional arguments which are passed through to the function specified by function ref. Okay, so if we want to pass params to the function ref, then this is the thing which we can do. So I think we can easily implement it with the help of ARGS. And I want you all to think what I am going to do right now. So let us do one thing. We are going to do apply. Okay. So we are doing callback dot apply this comma ARGS. And get rid of this. Perfect. This is working perfectly fine. And we can, I guess, check this also. Name. And we can do my name is name. Okay. And we can pass the name as Vedant. Let's see if it is working. Working perfectly fine. Welcome to JS Cafe. My name is Vedant, and Vedant is a very good boy. Perfect. So this was the polyfill of setTimeout. We saw how we can create setTimeout. We utilize the timer ID, timer map. We utilized, we created a polyfill of setTimeout. We created a clear timeout polyfill, and we also executed it. And we also saw why do we require request ID callback. This is very crucial. If the interviewer asks, you know what to say. We have already discussed just now. So this was all of setTimeout, and next video, next video that would be a continuation of this video would be the polyfill of set interval, where we are going to write the polyfill of set interval, and also we are going to see how this particular polyfill of setTimeout will come in handy when we are going to write the polyfill of set interval. The like target of this video is 100 likes. If you like the content, and do share this video with your friends and peers, and subscribe to JS Cafe. And thank you so much for 4K subscribers. I'm extremely grateful. Thank you all for your support, and wish we grow like this exponentially in the near future. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching this video. See you in the next one.